In the heart of the Venezuelan plains, where the moonlight dances on the vast stretches of land, a chilling legend echoes through the whispers of the wind. This is the tale of El Silbón, or the Whistler, a specter so haunting that his mere name sends shivers down the spines of the bravest souls. Picture this: a spirit condemned to roam eternally, dragging a heavy sack filled with the bones of his victims. His story is not merely folklore. It's a warning whispered from generation to generation, instilling fear in the hearts of those who dare to venture into the night. El Silbón is said to be the spirit of a young man who, in life, committed unspeakable atrocities against his own family. Driven by greed and betrayal, he took the lives of those who loved him most. As punishment for his heinous acts, he was cursed to wander the earth forever, carrying the very bones of his victims, a heavy reminder of his sins. But it's not just the gruesome nature of his fate that terrifies those who hear his tale. It's the sound that accompanies him, the eerie whistle that resonates through the night. Imagine walking alone in the dark, the only light provided by a sliver of moon hanging in the sky. The night is silent, save for the rustling of leaves in the gentle breeze. Suddenly a sound cuts through the stillness, a sharp, melodic whistle that seems to come from nowhere and everywhere at once. It's a sound that creeps into your bones, a warning that danger is lurking nearby. This is the signature whistle of El Silbón, a sound that is both alluring and ominous. Those who have heard it describe an overwhelming feeling of dread, a primal instinct urging them to run and hide. But here's the chilling twist. El Silbón's whistle is a deceptive sound. When it's close, it seems distant. When it's far away, it echoes nearby, creating a maddening game of cat and mouse. The whistle is an invitation, one that lures its victims into a false sense of security. You may think you're safe, only to find that the spirit is already upon you, his presence looming in the shadows. Throughout the years, countless stories have emerged of encounters with El Silbón. Those brave enough to share their experiences often recount a feeling of being watched, a sensation that prickles the skin and sends chills down the spine. They describe the haunting whistle that seems to follow them, growing louder and louder until it fills their entire being with terror. Many have vanished without a trace, leaving behind only whispers of their fate. Now, as you listen to this tale of terror, I invite you to immerse yourself in the world of the supernatural. If you're intrigued by legends that blur the line between myth and reality, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Your support helps us continue exploring these dark and mysterious stories together. El Silbón serves as a reminder of the consequences of one's actions and the heavy burden of guilt that follows those who stray from the path of righteousness. As he wanders the lonely plains dragging his heavy sack of bones, he embodies the fears we all share, the fear of being pursued, the dread of the unknown, and the haunting realization that sometimes the past cannot be escaped. So the next time you hear a whistle in the night, remember the tale of El Silbón. Listen closely and heed the warning, for you may find that the spirit of the whistler is closer than you think. As we delve deeper into this legend, prepare yourself for the tales that follow. Stories of encounters that defy explanation, chilling experiences that linger long after the whistle fades into silence. Welcome to the haunting world of El Silbón, where fear and reality intertwine, and where every whistle tells a story of its own. In the heart of Venezuela, amidst the lush greenery and vibrant culture, lies a village steeped in mystery and folklore. Here, the story of El Silbón, or the Whistler, unfurls, a tale that begins with a young man named Vicente. With bright eyes and dreams as expansive as the horizon, Vicente was once the pride of his family, a boy with the world at his feet. Yet beneath this charming exterior lurked a darkness that would ultimately consume him, transforming him from a beloved son into a tormented spirit. Vicente grew up in a humble household, his family working tirelessly to provide for their needs. Yet, as the years passed, the fire of ambition ignited within him, feeding a desire for wealth and power that overshadowed the love of his family. The more he yearned for riches, the more he grew distant from those who cared for him. His parents, once his guiding lights, became mere obstacles in his quest for greatness. Blinded by greed, Vicente devised a chilling plan that would forever alter the course of his life. One fateful night, consumed by his desires, Vicente committed the unthinkable. He murdered his father, the very man who had sacrificed everything for him. The act was swift and brutal, leaving behind a scene of horror and despair that would echo through the ages. In the aftermath, Vicente felt an initial rush of freedom, believing he had finally severed the ties that bound him to a life of mediocrity. But what he failed to grasp was that this freedom would soon transform into an unbearable burden. When Vicente's mother discovered the body of her husband, her world shattered. Overcome by grief, she cried out to the heavens, invoking a powerful curse upon her son. In that moment of anguish, Vicente's fate was sealed. The curse condemned him to wander the earth for all eternity, forever burdened by the weight of his father's bones. Thus he became El Silbón, a spirit marked by his heinous crime, trapped in a nightmarish existence. As El Silbón, Vicente's transformation was both physical and spiritual. He was no longer the young man filled with aspirations. He was a lost soul, doomed to roam the wilderness, dragging the heavy sack of bones as a constant reminder of his atrocity. The eerie whistle he now emits serves as a chilling reminder of his actions, a melody that resonates through the stillness of the night, echoing the grief and regret he carries within. But why the whistle? It is said that El Silbón's haunting melody possesses a duality. It is both beautiful and terrifying. Those who hear it are often gripped by an inexplicable dread, sensing the malevolence lurking in the shadows. What makes the whistle particularly frightening is its deceptive nature. When it sounds near, it is actually far away, and when it appears distant, it is often just moments away from its victims. This cruel trick of perception adds to the lore surrounding El Silbón, drawing the unsuspecting closer to danger without them realizing. As word of Vicente's transformation spread, his legend grew, morphing into a cautionary tale for children and adults alike. Parents would tell their children to behave, warning them that El Silbón would come for those who strayed from the path of righteousness. The legend served as a chilling reminder of the consequences of betrayal and the haunting grip of guilt. In time, El Silbón became synonymous with fear and punishment, a figure who sought revenge not just on those who wronged him, but on anyone who dared to ignore the lessons of his tragic tale. He became a ghostly figure in the folklore of Venezuela, inspiring dread and respect among the people. As we explore the origins of El Silbón, it is essential to remember that this story serves as a reminder of the moral complexities of life. Vicente's choices, rooted in greed and betrayal, led to his eternal suffering, echoing the belief that our actions have profound consequences. If you're captivated by this haunting tale of El Silbón and the darkness that surrounds him, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. Your support helps us delve deeper into these chilling legends, where every whisper of the past unveils a piece of truth waiting to be discovered. As we continue this journey into the unknown, prepare yourself for the darkness that lies ahead, where each story carries a lesson wrapped in shadows. In the deep, shadowy corners of the Venezuelan countryside where the night sky drapes over the land like a heavy cloak, a chilling sound pierces the silence, the haunting whistle of El Silbón. To those who have encountered it, this melody is more than just a sound. It is a foreboding presence, an omen of dread that lingers in the air long after the last note fades. The whistle itself is a paradox, drawing listeners in while simultaneously invoking a primal fear that grips the heart. Picture this. You're alone, surrounded by the vast expanse of nature, with only the rustle of leaves and the occasional call of nocturnal creatures to keep you company. The moon hangs high, casting an ethereal glow on the landscape, creating an atmosphere that feels almost serene. Yet, beneath this calm facade lies an undercurrent of tension, an awareness that something is amiss. Suddenly, a sound slices through the tranquility, a whistling tune, hauntingly melodic yet undeniably sinister. This is not just any whistle. It is the unmistakable call of El Silbón, a sound that resonates with a bone-chilling echo. Some say the whistle is sweet, akin to a lullaby, luring you closer under the guise of safety. But for those who have felt its icy grip, the reality is far different. The whistle signifies danger, a signal that death is near. Those who hear it describe an inexplicable feeling of dread creeping up their spines, a primal instinct that compels them to flee. What makes El Silbón's whistle particularly terrifying is its deceptive nature. The sound plays tricks on the ears, creating a spatial illusion that disorients and confuses. When it seems close, it's actually far away, and when it appears distant, it's often right behind you. This cruel twist of fate leaves its victims in a state of panic, unsure of where to run or hide. It transforms the night into a living nightmare, where the very air is thick with anticipation and fear. Many tales recount the experiences of those who have encountered this spectral melody. One such story is that of a young man named Miguel, who set out one evening to fetch water from a nearby well. The night was still, and the moonlight danced on the surface of the water, creating a beautiful scene. Just as he reached for the bucket, he heard it, a soft whistle carried on the breeze. It was distant, yet distinct, echoing through the trees, wrapping around him like a shroud. At first, Miguel felt drawn to the sound, a morbid curiosity tugging at him. But as the whistling grew louder, a deep sense of foreboding washed over him. His heart raced as he looked around, realizing he was utterly alone. The whistle, once a gentle tune, now resonated with urgency and menace, echoing the name of El Silbón in his mind. With every note, the darkness seemed to thicken, and the shadows loomed closer, taunting him. The whistle carried on the wind, wrapping around him like a serpent, and Miguel knew he had to escape. He turned to flee, but the sound followed him, drawing ever closer. The dread that enveloped him was suffocating, pushing him to run faster. But the whistle seemed to mock his efforts. It was as if El Silbón were toying with him, playing a game of cat and mouse. As he stumbled through the darkness, Miguel felt the weight of every breath he took, each inhalation heavy with fear. The whistle echoed in his ears, now a cacophony of despair, urging him to escape the inevitable. He didn't stop running until he reached his home, bursting through the door, breathless and terrified. But even inside, he could still hear the faint echoes of that haunting whistle, a reminder that he had escaped, but not for long. El Silbón's whistle is not merely a sound. It is an experience that changes those who hear it. It is a chilling reminder that danger lurks in the shadows, ready to pounce on those who ignore the warnings of the past. As the legend grows, so does the fear surrounding this spectral melody, weaving itself into the very fabric of the Venezuelan culture. If you find yourself captivated by the mystery of El Silbón and the chilling nature of his whistle, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Your support allows us to continue exploring these haunting tales, diving deeper into the shadows where fear and legend intertwine. As we unravel the mysteries of the night, remember that some sounds echo not just through the air but through the very essence of our being, reminding us of the fine line between life and the afterlife. The legend of El Silbón has transcended generations, embedding itself deep within the folklore of Venezuela. Countless tales of chilling encounters have emerged, each one more harrowing than the last. These accounts reveal not only the terrifying nature of the spirit, but also the profound fear and anxiety that grips those unfortunate enough to cross paths with El Silbón. One of the most gripping stories comes from a local farmer named Juan, who lived on the outskirts of a small village. He was well known for his hard work, often toiling late into the night to tend to his crops. One evening, as he harvested the last of his vegetables under a shimmering moon, he heard it, a haunting whistle that sliced through the stillness. At first, he dismissed it as the wind playing tricks, but the sound grew louder, curling around him like an ominous fog. Feeling an uneasy shiver run down his spine, Juan paused, listening intently. The melody was not just any tune. It was the unmistakable whistle of El Silbón. Panic surged through him, forcing him to abandon his tools and sprint toward home. With every step, the whistle followed, now closer, echoing through the darkened fields. Juan's heart raced as he glanced over his shoulder, half expecting to see the spectral figure lurking behind him. As he ran, The whistle morphed into a sinister laughter that seemed to mock his desperate flight. Juan's mind raced with memories of warnings from elders, tales of those who had encountered El Silbón and never returned. He could almost feel the chill of death creeping up on him, urging him to move faster. Just as he reached the safety of his home, he slammed the door shut, heart pounding, breathless, and terrified. But even inside, the whistle echoed in his mind, a haunting reminder that he had narrowly escaped the grip of the spirit. Another chilling account comes from a young woman named Lucia, who ventured into the mountains for a weekend hike with friends. Excited for the adventure, they filled their backpacks with snacks and laughter, eager to explore the untouched beauty of the wilderness. As dusk settled, they set up camp, sharing stories around the fire, the warmth of the flames flickering against the encroaching darkness. However, the atmosphere shifted when they first heard the whistle. At first, the sound was distant, a gentle reminder of the night's mystery. But as they continued their merriment, it grew closer, the haunting notes weaving through the trees. Lucia's friends dismissed it as an animal, but a sense of dread washed over her, stirring something primal within. She couldn't shake the feeling that they were not alone. That night, as they settled into their tents, the whistle transformed into a chilling lullaby, drifting through the night air. Lucia lay awake, unable to shake her anxiety. The sound swirled in her mind, growing louder and more insistent. When the whistle pierced the silence again, it was closer than before, and panic gripped her heart. She could feel the spirit's presence pressing in around them. It was a haunting melody, a warning, and a beckoning all at once. Unable to bear the fear any longer, she shook her friends awake, urging them to leave immediately. They fled the campsite, fear driving them through the darkened trails, guided only by the sound of their pounding hearts and the relentless whistle trailing behind them. Days later, Lucia would reflect on that night, her pulse still racing at the memory. The whistle had become a part of her, echoing in her thoughts, a reminder of the unseen forces that lurk in the shadows. Then there's the story of an elderly man named Don Rafael, who claimed to have encountered El Silbón in his youth. He recounted his experience with a tremor in his voice, as if the memory were still fresh. He had been returning from a late-night gathering when he first heard the whistle. At the time, he thought it was just a figment of his imagination, a trick of the night. But as he walked, the sound grew louder, shifting from a distant melody to a persistent echo that made the hairs on his neck stand on end. Don Rafael recalled how fear surged through him, urging him to run, but curiosity anchored him to the spot. Just as he turned to flee, he caught a glimpse of a shadowy figure in the distance, dragging something heavy behind it. He never learned what truly happened that night, as he ran until he reached home, but the sound of that whistle haunted him for years, a constant reminder of the spirit that stalked him. These accounts, filled with raw emotion and palpable fear, illustrate the pervasive dread that accompanies any encounter with El Silbón. Each story adds another layer to the legend, weaving a tapestry of terror that echoes through the lives of those who dare to venture into the night. If these chilling encounters have captivated your imagination, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Your support helps us delve deeper into the shadows of folklore, exploring the mysterious and the macabre. Join us as we continue to unveil the spine-tingling tales of El Silbón, where every whistle beckons with the weight of history and the echoes of fear. The night hung thick with an eerie silence, broken only by the rhythmic sounds of nature, crickets chirping, leaves rustling in the wind, and the distant howl of a night creature. Yet, amidst this calm, an unsettling tension simmered just beneath the surface. The air felt electric, charged with the kind of anticipation that stirs primal instincts deep within the soul. This was the perfect setting for a terrifying encounter with El Silbón. Imagine yourself in this haunting landscape, your heart beating wildly as you make your way home after a long day. The path is dimly lit by the silver glow of the moon, casting twisted shadows that seem to dance around you. You've heard the tales, the warnings whispered around campfires and shared between friends. But in your naivety, you dismiss them as mere folklore. That is until the unmistakable whistle reaches your ears, slicing through the stillness like a knife. The sound is hauntingly melodic, beautiful even, yet it carries an underlying menace that makes your skin crawl. As you continue walking, a chill creeps up your spine. The whistle seems to be echoing off the trees, wrapping around you like a serpent coiling tighter. Panic rises within you, igniting a fight-or-flight response you didn't know you had. You tell yourself it's just your imagination, but deep down, you know better. As the whistle grows louder, the hairs on the back of your neck stand on end. It feels as if the spirit of El Silbón is right behind you, his breath brushing against your neck, urging you to quicken your pace. You break into a sprint, adrenaline coursing through your veins as you desperately seek safety. But the deeper you venture into the night, the more disorienting the landscape becomes. The trees loom like dark sentinels, their branches reaching out as if to ensnare you. With every step, the whistle becomes a chilling mantra, growing closer, a taunting reminder that you are not alone. Your thoughts spiral into chaos. Where to go? What to do? In the midst of your terror, you glance over your shoulder, half expecting to see the skeletal figure of El Silbón closing in on you. But the shadows reveal nothing, only the treachery of the night. Each fleeting moment heightens your fear, amplifying the sensation of being stalked. As you continue to run, confusion begins to cloud your mind. The whistle oscillates between distant and near, playing tricks on your senses. When you think you've gained distance, the sound seems to wrap around you, tightening its grip. You stumble over roots and stones, your heart pounding like a war drum, urging you to escape the darkness that encroaches. You remember the stories of others who encountered El Silbón, how they felt compelled to follow the sound, lured by its beauty, only to discover the nightmare lurking behind it. You refuse to let that happen to you. The urge to survive overpowers any lingering curiosity, propelling you deeper into the underbrush. Your breath comes in ragged gasps, each inhale punctuated by the whistle that pierces the air, a sound that has become both your guide and your curse. Suddenly, the landscape shifts. You reach a clearing bathed in moonlight, a brief sanctuary from the shadows that have chased you. But even here, the whistle persists, echoing across the open space, mocking your temporary relief. You scan the area, searching for a place to hide, a way to escape the ever-present threat. Panic sets in as the realization dawns. There's nowhere to go. With your pulse racing and a suffocating sense of dread wrapping around you, you feel the weight of despair pressing down. You scream into the night, a primal instinct to push back against the encroaching darkness. But the whistle continues, a haunting lullaby that drags you deeper into hopelessness. The sound rises to a crescendo, drowning out your thoughts, enveloping you in a cocoon of fear. Just as you consider surrendering to the overwhelming dread, a surge of resolve ignites within you. You won't let this spirit claim you. You gather what little strength you have left and turn to flee once more, plunging back into the dense woods. Each step feels like a battle against the very essence of fear, as the whistle follows, relentless and unforgiving. This relentless chase becomes a test of endurance, both physical and mental. The boundaries between reality and folklore blur as the fear of El Silbón morphs into a tangible force, pushing you forward even as despair tries to pull you back. With every heartbeat, you realize that you are not merely fleeing a spirit, you are fighting against the very embodiment of your deepest fears. If you find yourself gripped by the terror of this chase and intrigued by the legend of El Silbón, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Your support fuels our journey into the dark corners of folklore, exploring the mysteries and fears that haunt us all. Join us as we unravel the chilling tales that echo through the night, where the chase is never truly over and the whistle lingers on the wind, a constant reminder of the shadows that lurk just beyond the light. In the dim light of twilight, when shadows stretch long and the world seems to hold its breath, the legend of El Silbón casts a dark pall over the hearts of those who dare to wander alone. Tales of those who have encountered this haunting spirit fill the air like whispers, each story more chilling than the last. The fate of those who cross paths with El Silbón is a grim reminder of the unseen dangers lurking in the night, a fate that often leads to their mysterious disappearance. leaving behind nothing but unanswered questions and fear. One of the most unsettling aspects of the El Silbón legend is the silence that follows an encounter. People often speak of friends or family members who ventured out at night and never returned, swallowed whole by the shadows. Their absence becomes a ghost story shared around campfires, a cautionary tale warning others of the spirit's wrath. As the legend goes, when someone hears the whistle of El Silbón, it signifies that the spirit is already on their trail. The unlucky individual may feel an eerie chill grip their heart, but by the time they realize the danger, it's often too late. What happens to these unfortunate souls? Some believe that once El Silbón sets his sights on a victim, they become eternally entwined in his haunting melody, forever wandering the earth in despair. Those who have claimed to see El Silbón speak of a deep sense of hopelessness, as if their very essence has been drained away. It's said that these encounters leave an indelible mark on the psyche, rendering them mere shadows of their former selves. Some believe they are transported to a realm of eternal torment, their spirits condemned to follow El Silbón as he drags the bones of his past victims. Local communities have developed various beliefs and practices to protect themselves from the wrath of El Silbón, understanding that this elusive figure is not merely a myth, but a tangible threat that can invade their lives. Many elders instruct the younger generations on how to recognize the signs of El Silbón's presence. A sudden chill, the whistle carried by the wind, or even the feeling of being watched are all harbingers of danger. To ward off his influence, people often carry protective charms made from herbs or worn items that are believed to possess spiritual significance. Some might carry a piece of iron, said to repel spirits, or a small talisman blessed by a local shaman. These charms are worn with a sense of reverence, a tangible link to the sacred traditions passed down through generations. Rituals are also common in these communities, often involving offerings to appease the spirit. Some families will leave out small portions of food or burn incense in hopes of placating El Silbón, hoping he will spare them from his wrath. These rituals serve as a reminder of the balance between respect for the spirit world and the need for self-preservation. In conversations, you'll often hear warnings whispered in hushed tones. If you hear the whistle, don't look back, or always walk with a companion after dark. These sayings encapsulate the fear that runs through the veins of those who dwell near the mountains or woods where El Silbón is said to roam. The belief is strong. Alone, you may become a victim. Together, you stand a chance against the darkness. Despite these precautions, stories still emerge of those who have encountered the spirit and paid the ultimate price. The chilling mystery of their fates looms large in the minds of the villagers, each disappearance a reminder of the dangers that lie in wait. As the years pass, new generations continue to be haunted by the specter of El Silbón. They grow up knowing that the stories are more than just tales. They are warnings steeped in a history of fear and respect for the unknown. The whispers of his whistle echo through the night, a chilling reminder that some spirits are not to be trifled with. If you find yourself captivated by the mysterious fate of those who encounter El Silbón and the beliefs surrounding his legend, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Your support helps us delve deeper into the darkness of folklore, exploring the chilling truths that lie hidden within the stories of our past. Join us as we continue to unravel the mysteries that haunt the night, where every tale serves as both a warning and an invitation to explore the shadowy corners of our collective imagination. As the final echoes of El Silbón's whistle fade into the depths of the night, we are left to ponder the profound impact this legend has woven into the fabric of local culture. The story of El Silbón is not merely a tale to entertain. It serves as a potent reminder of the unseen dangers that lurk in the shadows and the consequences of straying too far from the path of morality. In a world where the line between myth and reality often blurs, El Silbón embodies the primal fear of the unknown, instilling caution in those who hear his tale. Across generations, this legend has been passed down through whispered stories, cautionary tales told by parents to their children as a means of safeguarding them from the dangers of the night. The fear of El Silbón acts as a powerful societal tool, shaping behaviors and instilling a sense of respect for the mysteries that lie beyond the light of day. For many, the spirit becomes a symbol of consequence, a reminder that actions have repercussions, and that our past can haunt us in ways we never imagined. The chilling nature of El Silbón's legend is reflected in the rituals and practices adopted by local communities, each action steeped in the belief that appeasing the spirit may keep them safe. This interweaving of folklore and daily life highlights the powerful influence of mythology on cultural identity. It becomes a way for people to connect with their heritage, finding solace in the shared understanding of fear, loss, and the supernatural. Yet, what truly captivates the imagination is the duality of the legend. On one hand, El Silbón represents the terrifying unknown. On the other, he serves as a cautionary figure, urging individuals to confront their own moral failings. His story resonates with the idea that sometimes we are our own worst enemies, and the specter of our past can follow us like a shadow, lurking just out of sight. This paradox adds depth to the legend, transforming it into a narrative rich with psychological insight. As we reflect on the cultural significance of El Silbón, it becomes clear that his story transcends mere folklore. It invites us to question the boundaries between reality and myth, challenging us to consider the nature of fear itself. Are these legends merely figments of our imagination, or do they hold a deeper truth about the human experience? The way we respond to these stories reveals not only our fears, but also our hopes and desires to understand the world around us. The thin line between myth and reality becomes particularly evident when we consider the very essence of storytelling. Myths like that of El Silbón endure because they resonate with universal themes: loss, punishment, redemption, and the ever-present struggle between good and evil. They prompt us to confront our inner demons, to reflect on the choices we make and the consequences that follow. In doing so, we find meaning and connection in our shared humanity. So, as you step back into the light of day, consider the legacy of El Silbón. What does his legend teach us about the fears that dwell within us? Are there shadows in your own life that you've chosen to ignore? Perhaps the tale of this haunting spirit serves as a reminder to confront those shadows, to seek understanding rather than avoidance. If you found yourself captivated by the enduring mystery of El Silbón, I invite you to join the conversation. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. How do you interpret the thin line between myth and reality in your own life? Your insights could illuminate the darker corners of our shared narrative, reminding us all that while legends may fade, the lessons they impart remain etched in our hearts and minds. Thank you for joining me on this chilling journey into the world of folklore. If you enjoyed exploring the story of El Silbón and wish to delve deeper into the mysteries that shape our understanding of fear, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Together we'll continue to unravel the tales that haunt our nights and shape our cultures, for every story carries within it a fragment of truth waiting to be uncovered.